I just had to run an event, set up for an event, and it's been about 3 weeks. So sorry, the last event was 2 weeks ago, so it was about 3 weeks ago that I last set this up. And in today's world, I don't know how your websites, how your marketing, how your sales are set up. But for this particular aspect of my life, it is a concert that goes on every 2 weeks. And there was an extra week because I wanted to change up the Friday that it landed on. So it's been about 3 weeks since I went through any of this. And the interesting thing is, where's the instruction manual? Like, for me, it was pretty reasonable. I just went through and I used the process maps, the process instructions to go through and get this thing set up. Now, the interesting thing for me is as I went through this, there were a few tweaks, there was a few improvements. Like one of the process maps had some instructions that was really split over two process maps. So one of them was about duplicating the emails that go out to prospects and to customers. And the second one was moving an automation so that when people buy a ticket, it then activates Zapier and changes which sequence they're in. So it pulls them out of the prospect one and puts them into the customer one. Now, as you start to get into the complexity of these things, and let's face it, this setting up an event is really not that hard. But if I don't know where all these things are stored, where the Zapier is located, where the form to change the automations with the tags is, then the amount of time that it takes to do this is substantial. Like it's like, oh man, did I remember to do that correctly? What about this? I'm not sure about that. Have I set this up correctly? And you've all been part of things where things have not been done correctly. The classic being the first name, right? If it says hi first name, or they didn't get the some of the email providers have two squiggles, some have like different things, some are like whatever that holder for the first name is. If they don't get that right, then it says hi first name. You're like, why did that happen? Why wasn't there a check there? Why wasn't there a process to check? Did they forget to send the test email to themselves? Was that part of it? Oh, I was in a hurry, and so I just skipped that step. And all of these small things mean that your effectiveness of your team goes down, your effectiveness of your work goes down. Like for me to try and remember what I was doing 3 weeks ago without any instructions, I'm very skeptical of the fact that I would have got it close to 100% right. Like I'm going to have errors in there if I'm relying on my mind to do this. Look at how much information we're exposed to. Look how many decisions we have to make. For most people in this modern age, it's huge. Like there's just a huge number of information and using that information decisions every day. And so trying to go back 3 weeks, remember the details of what's going on is extremely difficult. One of the interesting rules of Wake Up Warrior is details matter. Now, if you can't remember which details are important, then it's going to mean that you miss stuff and things don't happen and things get missed. And then that looks bad. And people are like, can I trust you? Can I trust you? Now, look, it's not to say perfection. It's not saying we all have to be perfect by any means, but if an error continually happens, then there is a problem in the way that the systems and the processes for that business, for that person are actually working out. And it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I have faced a peculiar event. I mean, it's so minor you might dismiss it, and that is I came to the dishwasher this morning in my house, and half of the top layer had not been emptied. And I was like, man, is this stuff clean? Is this stuff not clean? I don't know. I was short on time. We had a truckload of dishes that had backed up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to load it, and I'm not even going to find out whether they're clean or not, because at least when I do the dishwasher, I want that dishwasher emptied so that I know that all of the clean stuff is out. And this is an example of a process that is not written down, and it generally involves other people in my family. So somewhere in the line, my family got distracted. Or I got distracted. I'm totally open to the fact that it was me who got distracted. So I got asked to do another task, or I had a thought of something more important that had to be done. Oh, this urgent thing came up, and suddenly that top layer of the dishwasher didn't get fully emptied. And so there is an impact on that the next time around, which was I only got 3/4 of the dishwasher loaded because this top half of the one at the top drawer didn't get unloaded. I'm just like, oh, we'll catch it up. But know that this is most likely happening across the board. I was in an event last week, and one of the participants had a beautiful sign up behind the thing and said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And this is extremely important in business. How you do your systems and how you do your processes is extremely important, has a massive impact on the way that your teams operate, and that definitely impacts your profitability. If you are only doing half of as much and paying twice as much for it, then you are going to be at a significant competitive disadvantage against a competitor that can do those things. Know that if they are getting twice as much work for half the price, they're at like a 4 times or maybe a squared exponential kind of gig going on. This is significant. So if you know that your systems and your processes aren't working and it's showing up in your business, in your marketing, in your sales, in your fulfillment, in your accounting, in your taxes, in your team, then perhaps it's time that you go, you know what, I need to look at this. I need to get my systems on point. So if that is you, head over to systemio.dev and pop in your name, pop in your email. There is some training there for you to get clear on why systems make such a big difference to all areas of your business. All right, look forward to seeing you again soon. Have an awesome day.